It's Friday night, everybody. You know what that means. It's Friday night. Let's have some fun. Let's get together and play a ton.
Hi, I'm Matt.
And I'm John.
And we're
Friday Night Games.
And we want to immerse you into our love of the hobby by educating and entertaining you through our board gaming adventures every Friday. We create content for Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube.
This episode is sponsored by TabletopRenaissance.ca, a local board game store in Windsor, Ontario, Canada. They just launched their web store, so check out TabletopRenaissance.ca for your board game and tabletop miniature needs.
All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to episode 2 of Friday Night Games Last Game Standing. Woo! So, starting with 5 games chosen by 5 amazing content creators, one game will be voted off each week until there is only one game left standing.
On the last show, Matt and I introduced all the rules. We talked about how Matt's grand plan completely failed. And most of all, we introduced all the games and the fantastic creators along with it.
Yeah, so joining us today on today's show, and they're going to help us vote off a game, we are joined by Melissa and Justin of Room 51. Welcome!
Thank you. Hello.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, thank you for agreeing to this.
Yes, thank you.
You probably didn't realize.
You're welcome.
You probably didn't realize it was going to be 30 hours worth of content you had to create for me, right?
No, it's funny. We got the message. I showed it to Justin. I was like, I don't know what we signed up for, but here we are.
You just went with it.
We'll have to send everybody like a thank you of some sort.
Yes, we definitely will. All right, so today they're going to help us vote off a game. So the games that are left, or actually no game has been voted off yet, but the games we have are Fort, elected by Girl Meets Nerd, Merv, elected by Bridge City Gamers, Aeon's End Outcasts, elected by Dice and Dragons, The Castles of Tuscany, elected by us, Friday Night Games, and Rallyman GT, elected by Melissa and Justin of Room 51. So tell us where everyone can find you.
So we are on Twitch at Room 51 Live, where we stream all things board gaming. We stream every Wednesday at 9. We are also on YouTube at Room 51, and we are on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all at This Is Room 51.
Awesome. Definitely check out their Twitch stream where you can see. Actually, I'm usually there. I wasn't there last night. I'm sorry. Don't hate me.
I won't hold it against you.
No, yeah, don't hold it against me. I was busy. I was actually writing the script last night.
Yeah, I haven't been on Twitch. I think the last thing I watched on Twitch was your 12-hour, 11-hour stream you guys did.
Cool.
That was like the last thing I.
Thank you.
Oh,
That was a bit of that,
Yeah, that was like May. Was that Mother's Day weekend?
On Mother's Day weekend. I think it was in May or late April or something like that.
Oh no, Mother's Day weekend you had the tea party, which was really cool.
Yes.
Yeah, we had the tea party. Yeah.
Okay, and then yes, it was April. It was April. That's when the last one
Yeah, it was
There we
April.
go.
Yeah, that was the last time I've been on the internet.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good on you, man. I wish.
Same.
Yeah, me too.
Awesome.
Me too. Okay, so just so everyone knows, I actually met Melissa at a convention for 15 seconds, and that's how we became content creator friends.
Yeah, awesome.
Are you two planning on going to any conventions this year, or have you thought about it?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. We've been waiting for it. It does seem like PAX Unplugged might actually be happening. That's the only board gaming convention we've been to ever.
Right.
And we really enjoy it, so we're planning to go to that.
It's a fantastic one. I really hope it happens. Hope that we can go to it for sure.
Yeah, I love it. I love it because it's so centered around just playing games.
Exactly.
But then there's also you could buy stuff and whatever, and there's events going on, which is cool. I like that. And this isn't quite board game related, but New York Comic-Con might be happening.
Nice.
And I am looking to go to there at least for one day. That would be cool. I love going there.
That is awesome.
Yeah, I like Comic-Cons are
They're real fun.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun. There's a big one in Toronto by us called Fan Expo, which I assume is probably New York Comic Con is probably a grander scale, but probably similar events and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Awesome,
And the board game scene has been growing at New York Comic Con. I've noticed that over the years.
I think board games are a fantastic convention thing because you could go there, you could play the game, and then you don't have to buy it. If it sucks, you just leave, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's such an active experience,
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, I was very sad about this entire year because I know we had a bunch of conventions planned that just got canceled.
Right.
And we still don't know if the American and Canadian border is going to open anytime soon. I know they're talking about it, but it all hinders on vaccination rates. And unfortunately, Canada is only 6% fully vaccinated.
Yeah.
So we got a long way to go.
There's talk of it, and I think it could be open for PAX Unplugged, but I don't want to get ahead of myself and say that will be there. But that's the one I'm kind of targeting because I think that's the only one I'm going to be able to go to be honest.
Right.
Got it. Yeah, that's one I'm hoping for. I am supposed to go to Dice Tower East.
Nice.
That one keeps getting canceled, unfortunately, but that hopefully will happen in 2022.
Nice.
Sweet. Yeah.
Yeah, that's sad too. I mean, if you think about it, like a lot of these companies make all their money off the conventions, so they kind of need it, right? Like Dice Tower is a good content creator network, but I'm sure they make all their money at these conventions, and you know, like if they want to keep producing content, they probably have to keep it going. So you feel really bad for them.
It's been really unfortunate.
Yeah, I'm sure it's been super tough getting through with that.
Well, cool. Well, hopefully the border opens up, and hopefully I'll see you at PAX Unplugged because I really love Philly.
Yeah, maybe I'll go.
Yeah, Philly's cool. Maybe we could see each other for more than 15 seconds.
Yeah.
I was a little bit shy. I think you were too. We're both kind of starting.
Yeah, we're both introverts. So it's like, oh yeah, here's my card. Okay, great. And I just like pocketed it.
Yeah, me too. And I'm like, sweet. I'll look at this later, like in a week when I pull out all the things again, right? Like,
right.
Yeah.
Actually, it's funny because me and you, Melissa, we say we're the introverts, but we do a lot of the talking, I think.
I think, yes. I don't know. Something about content creation, it brings out the inner extroverts in us.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Helps us. All right, moving on to another funny note. So what'd you all think of my hipster list? You could all lay it on me right now. My hipster list of board games for the last board game standing. Tell me what you really think.
I loved it. I had no problems with it. I loved the idea of it. I'll be totally honest, a lot of those games I did not play. And it made it so easy for me where it was like, oh, Rallyman GT is on this? Heck yes! It made it so easy for me. So I personally loved it. I love thinking of it as a hipster list because I think that if board games blew up and just everybody was talking big about board games and stuff, and I got someone that I know, like, oh, you got into board gaming after it was cool, and then they're talking to me like they know more about board gaming. I could see dating hipstery on them and be like, I was into board gaming before it was cool, okay? I was there when Scythe came out, okay?
Yeah, I liked the idea a lot because it reminded me of like, I felt like just I was like, oh, so this is like the best of the rest kind of thing for racing. But so I like the idea, and I was like, dang it, we should have come up with that. But at the same time, we had played like none of these games. I think out of the entire list, I played like 2 of them.
Yeah.
So it made it a pretty easy decision. I started looking at like Board Game Geek and everything. I was like, oh, maybe we could just like throw this in and break the rules or something. But
you totally could have. Because those are the total issues I had with other people where they're like, I haven't played any game, and I'm like, oh man. Just give me a game then. Just someone give me a game.
Well, it's funny because like I haven't seen Matt. That's the first time I've seen Matt in person since like beginning of April. Today, essentially. Further than that, maybe March.
Yeah.
And we've played all the games, but we've played them on like Tabletop Simulator or Tabletopia. So I haven't had that tangible experience playing any of these games. And Matt owns, I think, at least most of them.
I own 4 of the 5.
Yeah, 4 out of the 5. Yeah. So.
Wow. Okay.
That's my experience. Like I've played everything, but digitally.
I played it all solo.
Yeah.
So like I know what everything is like and how it can play. And actually, when I made that list, I was actually thinking of you too. When I put Rallyman GT on there, I'm like, I know they're gonna choose this.
Yeah. It's funny because we haven't played it physically. We've only played it digitally. There's only one game on this list that we've played physically.
Oh, which one?
Yeah.
Fort.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty popular one.
Did we play that after we got the list, or am I wrong about that? I might be making that up because I think it happened after the marathon, the list, so we had to have played it.
Yeah, I think we played it before.
I'm wrong. My bad. I do really like Fourth, though. Is that a spoiler? Was I not supposed to say that?
No, it's fine. This isn't like anything official here. I mean, we're just.
This is war.
Yeah,
we can't like the other game.
I mean, you can. I'm almost ready to vote my own game off, to be honest with you.
Fort sucks.
Oh man! And I guess on that note, was there any really top game of 2020 that it was either released, or was there a game that either of you played in 2020 that you think would have been the best game of 2020? So either released in 2020 or you played it in 2020. It could be from a prior year.
I have two in mind.
Yeah, go for it.
I have a feeling what Justin's is going to be.
All right, is it one of yours as well?
Yes.
Okay, it's gotta be Dune Imperium.
I love you too.
Yeah.
That would be mine. Dune Imperium would be mine as well.
Yeah, Dune Imperium's awesome.
Dune Imperium is so good. That one, I thought I'd like it, and then I was surprised by just how much I liked it. Like, even though Justin owns it, I want to buy a copy for myself because I love it that much.
Yeah.
Melissa, that's exactly how I feel it. That's exactly how I feel too. Like, John owns it, and I actually want to buy a copy so I could play solo.
And that's why I bought Arnak, for that reason.
Yeah, I actually would have given you Arnak, though.
Yeah, okay, well, I'm not giving you my Dune, so.
I know.
They're actually coming out with a new Dune game, and I'm like pretty jazzed about it as well.
They're coming out with a new one?
Yeah, Dune House Secrets, and it's kind of
I saw that.
based off the detective modern crime board game.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm very interested in that one.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm just gonna buy it. Like,
Sorry, what was the other game?
yeah.
Yeah, my other game is Sleeping Gods.
Oh, nice.
I feel like I've just scratched the surface of that game, and I think that there's a whole lot more to offer, and I cannot wait to really dive deeper into that game. So I'm going to stick with Dune Imperium as my favorite right now because I feel like I haven't experienced enough of Sleeping Gods to say that it's my favorite of this year yet.
Makes sense. I feel like that game also came out kind of around January of 2021. At least for us.
Yeah, that's true. It was supposed to come out in 2020.
It's tough. What about you, Justin? I'm guessing Dune Imperium is your top.
Dune Imperium's gotta be number one. One game, though, that I did just get because it's out of print, and I was able to get it for $50.
Oh.
And this game is sweet.
Yeah.
Is Pitch Car.
What?
I was able to... Pitch Car, do you know that one?
No.
What?
Oh, what?
What is Pitch Car?
Pitch Car. Pitch Car is everything you want in the game. It has everything. It'll make you laugh. It'll make you cry.
Oh.
No, Pitch Car is this silly dexterity game where you get to, like, build a track, and then you have to, like, flick these discs around the track, and you're trying to win a race against your opponent. And it's... Tom Bassel gives it a ton of love, but it's out of print and it's hard to get. And I was able to find someone here in New York City selling it for $50.
Nice.
So I immediately said, heck yes. I was able to meet them to get it, so I didn't have to pay for shipping.
Nice.
So I just took a trip into the city to pick it up. $50, totally worth it. And that one, I mean, that's an eventual top 50 game for sure for me. That was a ton of fun playing with Melissa. It's gonna be a great one at like parties and stuff. Yeah, because it goes up to 8 people. Just leave it on the table, like
Yeah, it looks
make
cool.
ridiculous stuff. Yeah, it looks cool. Like, it's awesome.
So for $50, what shady back alley did you have to meet this person in?
Oh, it was insane. It was crazy. I had to meet him. He had to search me, see if I was wearing a wire or anything.
He's like, what content creation company do you work for? You're like, none of them. Just give me the game.
This game looks pretty interesting, and
Yeah,
now I want it.
Yeah.
That was my problem forever. I convinced myself I won't ever have it.
That same thing for me. I had wanted it for such a long time, since like pretty much when I started getting into the hobby, which was like 10 years ago. But it's been out of print forever.
Wow.
So when he was able to get it for $50, I was like, hi?
Yeah. And what's great is too is like if I see it again for a really good deal and I send it to Melissa, if she gets it, it's not as simple as, oh, we now own the exact same game. Like, no, we can combine our track pieces and make a larger, more interesting track.
Oh, that's
Like,
Yeah. And
So
there's
it's
tons
sweet.
of expansions for like loops and
Oh,
everything.
yeah.
It's cool.
John's buying it right now.
No, I'm not.
he
I don't have any money.
$200.
Yeah. No, he has to beat someone in the Detroit back alley. We may never see him again.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, Detroit, on the tip of scale between Windsor and Detroit, I think Windsor will tip that scale in shadiness at this point. But,
Really?
Yeah, really.
Oh, you did work downtown, so.
I did, yeah. All right.
All right.
Are we ready to vote a game off?
All right, fine. I just want to hang out with my friends, and you want to get down to work. Let's do it.
Hey, Melissa said it's war. Let's...
All right.
It's war, baby. It's down. Survival of the fittest.
All right. Okay, so the games that are left are Fort, elected by Girl Meets Nerd, Merv, elected by Bridge City Board Gamers, Aeon's End Outcasts, elected by Dice and Dragons, The Castles of Tuscany, elected by Friday Night Games, and Rallyman GT, elected by Room 51. All right, so the question of today's episode that we're going to discuss is why you chose this game. In brackets, feel free to make fun of Matt. What about this game was so appealing to you, and try to describe that in your board game taste. Okay, so let's give a listen to everybody's answers.
I'm Jason.
I'm Julie, and together we're Dice and Dragons.
So why did we choose Aeon's End Outcast, Julie?
Aeon's End just has a theme that I love. I mean, I love the idea of magic, and I love a cooperative game. Everybody who watches our channel regularly will know that I love co-op games. I do not enjoy as much. I was going to say I do not enjoy at all, but that's not true. I much prefer cooperative games, and this is one of the best cooperative games, I think.
But slowly but surely, there are a few competitive games that she enjoys as much as cooperative games.
Not as much.
Come on, Wingspan, you had that on the table like all the time, and you had a blast with Red Rising. In any case, we're talking about Aeon's End. Let's keep it on track here.
You're the one who took it off track.
Yeah.
So,
also, by the way, this is a post-apocalyptic game, and she says she doesn't like post-apocalyptic stuff, but she watches a lot of it, so I don't know.
This is more fantasy to me than anything. I mean, you're talking about mages or casting spells to defeat big, I don't even want to know, end of the world.
Nemesis.
There's no other word for it. I mean, for me, what I like is the most about this game. Well, I like the way the cards come. I mean, we talked about it a little bit in episode 1. I like how when you're playing the games and you don't shuffle, you know what order things are coming, so you can plan a little bit what's coming. But what I like the most is that we're playing mages that get to power up. They get stronger and stronger, and you're casting spells, and we're working together to defeat this bad guy. And to me, it's all of the things I like most about games.
And I have to say, this game probably knocked off our regular deck builder that we would play, which was Legendary. Now, we've been so busy on the channel that neither Aeon's End or Legendary have at the table in a while. But we would take Legendary out regularly, and a few times I told Julie, I'm like, do you want to just play Aeon's End instead? And there wasn't too much of an argument. She's like, yeah, well, you know what? Let's take that one out. And they're just as easy to set up. And the game there's a lot more depth to Aeon's End, and I just love the strategy. The fact that you do not shuffle your cards and the way that you play your cards and they go into the discard pile as part of strategy is something that I absolutely love about the game, because you might want to hang on to a spell a little longer so that maybe it lines up with the card that will power it up, or if it's a weak spell, maybe you're trying to trash it to get it out of your deck. So you have to take all of those different aspects into consideration. And I have to say that deck building is probably one of the mechanics that you enjoy the most, Julie, and a lot of the competitive games that we play as well also have a deck building element, the ones that we'll see at the table more than a few times.
Well, I mean, you talked about Legendary. It's also another deck builder, so we like cooperative games. I think one of the reasons why you prefer this one is you also like story-driven cooperative games, and this one has a lot of story behind it. Another thing that's great about this game, I find, is that
it's the randomness mitigation that I like more in Aeon's End.
Yeah. There's also the fact in this that there is a lot of strategy in the game. You can't just play the cards as they come up and just play them blindly. You have to think about what you're playing. There are times where you have to ignore the nemesis because you have to get rid of, the smaller cards because they're going to hurt you more.
Yeah, and those power ones are really nasty too.
And then other times it's the opposite. You have to ignore those little cards that are going to hurt. They're going to hurt you. They're going to damage you, but you have to attack the nemesis because something. So you have to make those informed decisions. And that's part of the fun of the game is you can't just play it blindly. You really do have to have some strategy behind it.
co-ops, deck builders, and increasing our power level is stuff that we love here on Dice and Dragons, and that's why we picked Aeon's End Outcast. And actually, we might have picked some different games, but as this list is not, well, supposed to not be trendy, I think two of the games that may have made this list that are actually competitive games and some of our favorites, which are also both deck builders, hint, hint, we like deck building, were excluded from the list. I mean, I get it. A lot of people will probably pick those games. We're talking about Arnak and Dune Imperium, two of the best games from 2020. But also looking at the list, there's a couple of other games, and I think their official release was 2019, but I know that we got it in our hands in 2020. So I would have liked to have maybe seen like Tainted Grail on the list or Cthulhu Death May Die, but those both came out like late in 2019. Otherwise, I would have so loved to talk Cthulhu Death May Die. But Aeon's End Outcast is great. We love the system. We own everything for this game, including the promo packs. I've hunted it all down, and we are getting the upcoming game, Legacy of Gravehold, which should be coming in a few months. And that, Julie, goes back to Legacy, so it's campaign and Legacy elements. But the cool part is you're supposed to be able to reset it, and there's 2 tracks for the campaign, so we can literally play it twice.
Yeah, you can tell how excited he is. His voice
very excited.
Just went up an octave, I think.
Hey. All right, so there you have it. We've described what we like about Aeon's End Outcast. That ends our segment here for the episode 2, and we're out of here.
Hey there, my name is Megan.
And I'm Tristan.
And we're the co-hosts of the Girl Meets Nerd podcast. And we are here to nominate Fort of Leader Games as the last board game standing. So, what makes this game our favorite game of 2020?
When this board game was being launched, you were obsessed with it.
I was obsessed.
For 2 main reasons. Number 1, it has a super cute theme. And number 2, it is great for playing with 2 players.
Absolutely. I love the art in this game. I'm completely obsessed with anything that Leader Games produces because the artist that they use, Kyle Farron, he's just amazing and he makes the cutest stuff. So I was really, really in love with the game, even before it launched. But I also really liked it because it's perfect to play with 2 to 4 players. We've played it quite a few times and it plays equally well in both situations. It's obviously a bit different, but with 2 players, it really does work very well. And, not being able to see our friends during the pandemic, it made it the perfect game to play. So I think this was just a great game and we got to play it really often.
Yeah, we did. And one thing that I loved as we started to learn the game was that it was not easy to win.
Oh my gosh, no.
It wasn't one of those games where one person became better at it than the other and then just dominated each and every game. All of our games came down to the wire. It was tough to win. There was janky things that happened during the game and you were like, oh my god, I can't believe that just happened. But it was still a fun time. So it kind of had a lot to do.
And on that note, even though this game was hard to win, for me, it was very simple to learn. Like the actual actions that you took each turn, it wasn't like I was reading the rules every time. And because I hate reading rules, this was really great. The rulebook was small, it was simple, it was easy to teach to other people when we did get to play with a couple others. So I really like that aspect. Easy to learn, hard to win.
That's all fine and good to say that we love it, but what are the types of games that we like to play?
In general, I like a good strategy game, one with a really strong theme, and that definitely came through in this game. I also, as I mentioned, like games that are pretty easy to play. They're not overwhelming, but they're still competitive.
Yeah, not so complex that it becomes frustrating to just try and play. We also love asymmetric games.
Oh yeah.
Which is something that we learned actually from Leader Games, where each of the players have different types of abilities. Mm-hmm. In Fort, this isn't so much the case, but everybody plays different characters, which is a lot of fun.
Yeah. You have kind of the same win conditions, which is one of the aspects of a symmetrical game. But in this game, you basically get to play as different kids who each have different unique abilities, which makes it difficult not only to predict how other players will play, but also to figure out what your strategy is going to be.
Yes. And on that note, we like games that have interesting gameplay mechanics, things that are different, things that make you go, oh my gosh, how am I going to use this? How is my opponent going to use this? What the heck is this?
Yeah, absolutely.
And most importantly, games that are not too long.
Yes. Fort plays... let me check the box. Fort says that it plays in...
45 minutes?
20 to 40 minutes. But I would say, depending on the game, we usually played at least 45 minutes. Now, that could have been, we usually were either teaching somebody new or, we were getting really competitive. But yeah, 20 to 40 minutes. You don't want anything really over an hour, in my opinion. But that's just me. You love long games.
I do.
So yeah, overall, Fort was just totally the best game of 2020 in our opinion. It was also really small and compact, so we could bring it with us. That's always kind of a problem, is bringing these big, huge games with us, whether we're going on like a camping trip or going to see a couple friends that are allotted for us. It was great to be able to bring it with us.
And that is why we chose Fort to be our last game standing for 2020.
Hey there, we're back. This is Norm from Cardboard Conjecture.
I'm Ryan from Cardboard Conjecture.
And we're going on to question 2, or segment 2, of the unsung heroes of 2020. So I'll spit the question out and then we can both kind of bounce back and forth on it. So we're talking about Merv, Heart of the Silk Road. Why did we pick this game to talk about, Ryan?
Mainly it was the only one that we could agree upon that we both played. But there's much more to that, because Osprey Games has always been a publishing company that you've put on my radar, that they seem to put out they don't put out a lot, but what they do put out is quality.
Yeah.
And this game fits that mold absolutely beautifully. I saw that there's beautiful, colorful artwork.
Ian O'Toole
artwork on this game, and it's just spewing Euro goodness. And I'm a sucker for a really good crunchy Euro.
Yeah.
So that's why I wanted to choose this game.
Well, and same thing for me, is I love my Euros. I love the puzzle solving. I love seeing, and I'm keep using this word, these synergistic connections that may occur to some people, may not occur to some people. But I love that ability to feel clever in solving a puzzle. And that's what I get out of this game a lot.
And this game delivers those delicious decisions on a turn-by-turn basis. The first few turns are going to go by really quite quickly because you're kind of setting up.
Yeah.
It's not an engine-building game, but you kind of want to set up some future plays, some future combos.
Yeah.
And everything like that. And then it's the second and third years, the second and third trips around the board, where you're trying to build off those things that you built in.
Yeah.
Also, you're also trying to deprive the other players of possibly getting the maximum most about their, like if I see Norm's got 2 buildings in a particular row,
and if you're
I don't want him to activate those 2 buildings and a third building at the same time. He's going to get lots of resources.
Yeah.
And in this game, if you have lots of resources, you can do lots of things.
Oh yeah, it's a Euro, so we're dealing with a lot of cubes. But yeah, speaking of that, in the previous segment, I referred to it as a matrix of action programming, because you're going each year, you're going on each side of the board, which means that there's 4 seasons or 4 segments to that year. And the town inside is a rank and file grid pattern where if you're coming from the top, you're looking down and there's 5 buildings that in that strip of 5 buildings, each one of those buildings has the potential to be connected to one of the 5 areas of Merv: the mosque, the palace, the
caravan.
What's the camel thing again? I keep getting that one wrong.
The caravansary.
The caravansary, yeah. So in that matrix, which is random every game when you pull and when you lay the tiles out, that you're trying to look at from a Euro point of view, you're trying to look at what's going to be my angle and how can I manipulate each choice to my advantage. As Ryan was saying, do I actually go into the column or row that you need? Or do I just kind of go, I'm going to try and play this a lot more efficiently than my other player, right? So, yeah.
That's what's so appealing about this game, is that your decisions are, the actions you're going to take are very simple, but there's a ton of depth behind them.
Yeah.
There's so much things that you need to think about. You need to think about what the other players are doing.
Yeah.
You got to choose a strategy, I would say, hopefully early on in the game, so that you can try to maximize what your potential. And there's so many different ways of go about scoring the point. I like the multiple avenues that you can. You did one strategy. I did a completely different strategy. We came within like 5 points of each other in a 2-player game. Like that's balance.
And I think what's really unique about this game is that you can pivot pretty quick. If someone presents you with an obstacle, you can easily find second choice, third choice, fourth, right? There's always options. You're never stranded with wasting a turn. I've never felt that I was ever stranded with a wasted turn. Yeah.
And then this really fits what kind of games we like to play.
Yeah.
We love crunchy, well thought out Euro type of games. Points can be scored left, right, and center. Lots of things to think about on your turn. This game delivers it in spades. Like I like games like I like Five Tribes. This game, very Five Tribes. It's not there's nowhere near like Five Tribes, but it gives me that sense of like, hey, I got to plan out. I've got some things in the back of my mind that I want to do.
And it comes down to that variable setup of the city of Merv itself. The tiles. I think the 25
puzzle
tiles
you have to solve.
Yeah, because it can come out. And I'm starting to learn that before I start the game, I'm looking at where all of these, the patterns or how it's configured and trying to quickly do that whole beautiful mind thing and calculate, okay, where's my path? What's the,
like in one certain direction are all 5 tiles like in a row.
Yeah.
Like, that's bad.
Yeah.
Bad if that happens.
Yeah. So I think, I'm so glad that I did the research and you stumbled on this game too, but again, with the taste that we have with Euros, it wasn't going to take long for us to have this game on the table in front of us. So yeah, cool. So that's, another reason why I like Merv, Art of the Silk Road.
What's up, everyone? I'm just Maytac here with my sister, Melissa Matat.
Hey, everybody.
And we are Room 51, and where we talk all things board gaming. And so we're going to talk a little bit about why we chose Rallyman GT for this episode, or for the series of episodes. So, Melissa, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, let's do it. So, awesome. Rallyman GT, I think, is one of the better games to have come out in 2020 because it does. So there's plenty of racing games, right? But not a whole lot of them, feel like that racer style game that's also not clunky, if that makes sense, right? There's some racing games out there that feel a little bit clunky, although Flamme Rouge is one of the better ones too. That's a really good one. We just played that. But anyway, Rallyman GT, it has that push your luck mechanism. And for anybody who knows me and Justin, right, who watches Room 51, we love the push your luck mechanism. And I think that really shines through in this racing game. And I think that I like a racing game to do that. Yeah. All right. I totally agree with that. One of those initial points that you made is a huge reason why I love Rallyman GT, because I'm a big racing fan. So I also then really love racing games, and I love it when they show things that exist in real world racing through the mechanics or mechanisms, I should say. And a lot of these games, specifically I'm thinking of Championship Formula Racing, they're very clunky. And the problem with that is it makes it less approachable, especially for people that don't like racing so much. So this is one that I love because it's super approachable by other people. The rules are much more streamlined while still staying true to these themes within racing, the different racing lines, how you're taking and approaching a corner and whatnot. Yes. And I guess also a big reason why I do love the game is, aside from just the push your luck, is also the strategy of what gears you're going to be going into and deciding to end your turn on, and how that's going to play out in your favor or not in your favor, Yeah. So all that kind of stuff really just creates this very fun game for me. Yeah, and it's a dice chucker. I love dice. Yeah, that's true. It's a nice dice chucker that has a lot of mitigation, and with the push your luck style, you really get to decide, like, okay, am I going to push my luck here, or am I just going to decide, like, no, I still want to go this far, but not push my luck as much with it, and you really get to play around with when you're going to push your luck and whatnot. There's a lot of depth there. Yeah, absolutely. The strategy is great, and that is also why I lose a lot. Yeah. Anyway, that is it for this episode. Thank you so much, and we'll catch you on the next episode.
All right, so I think we should explain the rules of the voting. The guests who are on the show get their own individual vote on the show, but if they're not on the show, the group gets only one vote. So I think that's really cool. I think that balances out some of the voting a little bit, and it's neat so that the content creator groups can argue over which games to vote off.
I also think it's a cool thing, just if you're on the show, you get separate votes. Yeah. That way we can watch everyone fight with each other. So it's war, right, Melissa?
It's war, baby.
It's war.
All right, so everyone have their vote ready. We're going to reveal it one by one. We're all good?
Yeah.
All
right.
Oh, wait, do I need to write this down?
I'm done.
You could write it down, sure.
I already know.
If you know, you could just say it. You don't have to write it.
Oh, okay. You said reveal. I was like, oh, God.
I'm not recording anything, so... I mean, I'm not recording video, so no one's going to see it if you wrote it down.
You're right.
Are you recording there?
No, I am recording here. I'm recording in front of me. Okay. So who wants to go first, I guess?
Let's have our guests go first.
Okay. So Justin and Melissa, one of you can gladly reveal what game you're voting off.
Justin, you got it.
All right. It was a tough one for me. I was in between two, but I was like, you know what? I'm on Friday Night Game Show, so I choose the game. Castles of Destiny.
Nice. Why? Why are you hating on our game? I like this fight.
I really like Steffenfeld, and I don't have Castles of Destiny yet. So like you guys talking about it. You liked it so much. No, I am a little jealous. Of like, oh man, I really want to try this game, but I actually decided to vote it off specifically because I wasn't enticed by the game's like advertising and how it sounded and everything, how it looks, like the playthroughs I've seen and stuff. Never really grabbed me, and I guess for me that was kind of surprising since I'm looking at my shelf and I have 3 Steffenfelds next to each other. I love all 3 of them. It's like, why don't I have Castles of Tuscany? So I decided, like, yeah, choose the Castles of Tuscany.
What Steffenfeld games do you have on your shelf right now?
So Castles of Burgundy,
right?
Carpe Diem,
nice,
and Notre Dame.
Nice. Okay. So Castles of Tuscany is such like it's like a streamlined version of Burgundy. I think it's like way easier to play because I have Burgundy and we actually played Tuscany after, and I'm like, wow, this is such an easy, like this is what Burgundy I wish was like when I played it.
Really?
Yeah. It's okay.
That hurts me because I also got the upgraded baddies for Burgundy and I haven't like, played with it yet.
Oh man, Burgundy's fun though, especially if you have a group who's dedicated. Knows how to play.
Yeah, I love Burgundy. Yeah. I honestly, I have a feeling that if I played Castles of Tuscany, I would not be saying Castles of Tuscany right now. My second game, by the way, just for fun, was Ions and Outcast. Is that what the full name of it is?
Yes. Yep.
I wasn't feeling the argument from the people talking about it, Dice and Dragons. Not that I wasn't convinced that they really loved it, you know? It sounded like they really wished that they could have picked another game, and I wasn't big on that.
Well, that's the game they chose. That wasn't even on the list. That's like the game they chose.
That's all right.
What bothered me was they were like, I wish I could have spoken about like Tainted Grail, but Tainted Grail, that's so much love. That's not hipster.
They want it, yeah. You two are hipsters just like me, so you get it.
Yeah, you can't talk about Tainted Grail and something like
Montreal. People from Montreal are not hipsters. That's clearly what it is.
Yeah. What? I'll talk about Pandemic on this list. No.
Oh, Pandemic Legacy. No, they want to talk about Arnak and Dune Imperium, and I nixed those because I knew they were gonna win. Like I'm like, yeah, that like even I want them to win, so I'm removing them. That's what I do.
And those games, in my opinion, are not hipstery enough now. And you said it, Trap. It's a hipster list.
It is super hipster.
Straight up, best of the rest, baby.
All right,
that's why all of us are wearing glasses right now.
Yeah.
We can all see 20/20 vision, but we just wear glasses. Yeah.
I actually do have 20/20 vision. This is just for computers.
Yeah.
If I could have 20/20 vision, and like I've got like negative 20/20 vision, like
oh my god,
so bad.
He needs all of our glasses actually. That's really weird.
Here, please.
What about you, Melissa? What are you voting off?
It is hilarious because I had the exact same mentality as Justin.
That's awesome.
Which rarely happens, but it does sometimes happen because we are related, I guess. I'm voting off Castles of Tuscany, mostly because I'm not a huge Steffenfeld fan. I've only liked one of the games that I've played, and that is Notre Dame. or Notre Dame, whatever we want to call it. And Castles of Burgundy, it was funny because you were like, oh yeah, this one is like the more streamlined version or whatever. And Castles of Burgundy for me already felt pretty simple. Oh. And I was like, whatever. Like this game, I don't know. I'm done with the Browns and the, like, I don't know, tans and beiges and everything. Like, Steppenfeld, please step it up. Okay, I want color and I want theme. So I'm done. So yes, Castles of Tuscany, I am totally voting off. But fair. I also thought about Aeon's End.
Oh.
For a couple of reasons. One, I was like, Aeon's End has too much going on. They've got so many games of Aeon's End. Like, I wouldn't even know where to begin. There's a problem with that, I think. But also, I felt the same way. Like, the people who picked it didn't even... It felt like they didn't want to pick it. Like they didn't like it enough. So...
All right, fair.
I'm going with Castles of Tuscany because Aeon's End actually does sound really cool. Unlike Castles of Tuscany.
I mean, Aeon's... Okay, so on your point that Aeon's... on your point of Aeon's End, it has a lot going on. I completely agree. There's so many games of it, and then, like... Every game has like 6 characters plus like I think like 6 bosses usually.
Yeah.
And although I will give it credit because a lot of them they have a story element to it, you get it to the table more often than other games. And then on the Steppenfeld note, yes, I mean it's a Euro game, so you know it's not going to have a lot of pizzazz in it. You're not going to put a lot of production value.
I love Euro games like. Uwe Rosenberg, who's got pizzazz, baby, in those games.
Yeah.
Predaporter, pizzazz.
Yeah, Predaporter does have pizzazz. That's true.
Okay, Stephenfeld, you're done.
I'm gonna go cry in the corner now. See, we should have picked our other game that I wanted to pick.
Oh, well, we can talk about that after. But I think our game's going to get voted off, which I'll talk about my pick in a second, but go ahead. What is your pick, John?
I still don't even know. But I think my vote was going to be Aeon's End.
Is that your vote?
Yeah. Okay. That's the one I was out of all the games we played, I feel like that's the one I was looking forward to playing the most, and I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would.
Okay.
And I know we didn't play like all through the entire series of the game, but yeah, it's just like it didn't hit that home run that I was kind of hoping it would, because I know you like Aeon's End Legacy and stuff like that, so you kind of got that little bit of hype for me. But yeah, I just felt that game was okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
You just stuck a knife in my heart right there.
Sorry.
It does suck when you really have high expectations for a game and it doesn't meet that. It sucks.
Yeah. Or movies or anything. To that.
Yeah, exactly.
Life.
Yeah, life. Every day.
Okay, well, this is interesting because there's gonna be a tie.
All right.
Ooh.
So right now, Castles of Tuscany has 2 votes to be removed. Aeon's End has 2 votes to be removed. And then Merv got 1 vote and Fort got 1 vote. So everything actually almost got voted for except for Rallyman GT in this case.
Hey.
Congratulations. I know what I'm voting next week.
Insane.
Yeah, next week we're just voting off Rallyman. We're going to be like, no, you need to change your vote. Rallyman GT. No, I'm kidding.
It's got to win, baby. That's room 51.
Yeah.
On that note, I have the tiebreaker on Aeon's End and Castle of Tuscany because it's my show and I decided that in the rules last week.
That's fair.
I'm actually going to vote off our game.
That's fair.
Yeah, I'm going to vote off Castles of Tuscany. Yeah, I am.
Wow.
Yeah, because of the
shockers.
What a twist!
Plot twist. I rather see other people's games move on than ours.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're being noble.
Yeah. I'm taking the high road.
This is just a ploy.
This is a publicity stunt.
All right, am I done working here then? Like, I'm done now, right?
No, you're not done, dude. You got to vote everything.
I'm just kidding.
All right, so how do we feel about Castles? Okay, so hold on. Let's
wait, I want to know who voted for what.
Okay, we know who voted for Castles of Tuscany, Room 51, clearly.
Yeah.
We invite them on the show, and then they kick our game off.
That's okay.
That's fine.
That's a perfect first
Yeah, it'll
episode
make all
for
the
this.
other votes easier for us. But, so... actually, you know what? Who do you think voted off Aeon's End?
I would say Bridge City Boardgamers.
No, that's wrong. What about Room 51? I know you don't know the people as well, but maybe you can throw a guess out there.
Who voted off Aeon's End? The people that retorted Aeon's End.
No.
Yeah,
They sounded like they hated it.
I would not know.
It's the Fort people. It's the people that retorted Fort.
Yes, you
Really?
got it. Yeah, seriously.
Hey.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice. And then Merv was voted off by some. Just throw it out there. What do you think?
Oh, Dice and Dragons.
Yep, Dice and Dragons.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then Bridge City Board Gamers chose Fort.
Okay.
So there you go.
I like how like almost everything got a vote. That's kind of cool. I like it.
Except for our game.
Not Rallyman GT.
We're undefeated.
It was a good pick.
So
It
far.
was clearly a good pick. So on that note, so our game got voted off. So Joe, tell them the game that you wanted to put on that I denied.
I was gonna pick Gods of Dinosaurs.
Oh, yeah, not hipster enough. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, dinosaurs. Come on, it's like child's play, you know.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Anything from Pandasaurus games, done.
Yeah.
Off the list.
Too popular, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Too mainstream. I only play indie games, self-published stuff, you know.
Yeah.
I only play my own games, but I don't play with
Yeah.
anybody because
Yeah,
you know, it's too popular. If that's the
Yeah.
case. All
They
right.
wouldn't get it.
So thoughts on Castles of Tuscany being voted off, everyone? How do y'all feel?
I'm fine with
I
it.
feel great.
I'll be honest, I feel like if somebody told me, oh, your vote would either take off Castles of Tuscany or Aeon's End, I feel like I probably would have voted Aeon's End. So I feel kind of bad.
Don't feel bad, Justin. It's all
okay.
part of war.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
There can
guess
only be
that's
one
true.
standing after this, and it's not going to
Yeah.
be Castles. It's not going to be the Castles of Tuscany. They've toppled
Right.
over on this show.
Honestly, Castles of Tuscany wasn't even hipster enough.
No, it was pretty mainstream, actually.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to veto everything here.
It didn't get that much love though, and I feel like it's eventually at least going to be hipstery because it did not get that much
Yeah,
love.
I think Burgundy will stick around, but Tuscany will not.
Yeah.
The thing I really liked about Tuscany was that I felt like it was easier to explain and play with a lot of people. Melissa, you were saying Burgundy doesn't have as many rules, but I actually felt there was a ton of rules in Burgundy because of like every color has a different thing you have to do. While in Tuscany, like they had a code. I mean, I think they have a code in Burgundy too, but it was just very straightforward.
Yeah.
On how to play the game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like it's like just think of it as like take away all the random dice rolls and add in like set collection cards, and then it's basically the same game, but it plays quicker. It plays within like an hour, which is awesome.
Okay.
Burgundy could take like
like
2
that.
hours. Yeah.
I like that, but
Yeah.
I like the dice chucking aspect a lot.
I do enjoy the dice.
You
chucking,
did
yeah.
say you like chucking dice in your
I do.
your review.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Rallyman.
Rallyman GT, baby.
Heck yeah.
All right, so Castle Tuscany is off, so that leaves Rallyman GT, Fort, Aeon's End Outcast, and Merv.
Wow.
Those will be some tough games to vote off.
Yeah, I
next
actually
week.
thought it was really hard to vote off any game.
Yeah.
So kudos to the first game being voted off. All right. So stick around for some chat with Room 51, or you could tune in next Friday to hear what next game gets eliminated from that list. And now I'm going to flip the tables on you two. Is there something you want to talk about?
Something specific to talk
Random
about.
topic?
I played Flame Rouge recently and really enjoyed it. How do you guys feel about racing games? Because I really enjoy them.
I love Rallyman. Off topic, I really love Rallyman GT. I love it.
Yeah.
I think the game is phenomenal, and it's even easier to teach than Castles of Tuscany. I can say that right now. But when you read the
Wow.
but when you read the rules of Rallyman GT, it can be a little bit confusing.
Yeah.
Because you know, like everything has like there's a lot of rules, but there isn't. You know. When you
Yeah,
play the game
exactly.
flow, it's pretty.
One of those.
It's pretty quick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like a Wingspan. I don't know if you played Wingspan. Like the rule book is like, what am I reading? I feel like I'm reading a novel.
Yeah.
But the game is actually like, you can only do 4
Super-
things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do those 4
Yeah.
things, you'll be fine. You know what I mean?
I saw a thing today or yesterday, a content creator's like, I'm going to get murdered for this, but I think Mariposas is better than Wingspan.
Oh, I disagree.
And they gave a good argument. I was like, I feel like I should play that game again.
I
and-
disagree 100%.
And go
I
from
want
there.
I
to
haven't played
try
it.
that now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't played it.
Yeah, I have not played that.
We
Are they
have it.
actually that similar to like compare them?
No, they're just
No.
created by the same person.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
I think maybe Mariposas could be easier to play because there's less pieces or less components. In Wingspan, every card has like something you have to read.
Yeah.
Right? Which is like, I think both of you are Magic people. It's like Magic. Every card has something you have to read. So there's like a million things that are popping.
Right.
So you have to keep track of a million things. And if you're not good at keeping track of a million things, then you're going to hate the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
I definitely feel though like Wingspan does make it pretty easy for you in the sense of like what's gonna pop off. You know exactly, like you get to follow along with it. It's not one of those tricky things of like a Magic where you have to remember, oh, I have this one creature that says if I gain a health, then destroy 2 creatures, and then this one says, oh, if I destroy 2 creatures, I gain a health, and then create a clone, and I have infinite clones now, and you have to forfeit.
Yeah. It is nice in Wingspan where it's like this train effect where it's like, okay, I'm just going through the cards. It tells me what I have to do.
Exactly.
Even if I've forgotten about it, it's like, oh, cool, I have that ability.
Yes.
Yeah, no, totally. And we actually played it the other week, and one of the issues we had was like, I don't know, I guess I'm just not good at the strategy right away, but maybe I didn't explain the rules properly, but one of the people who was very new playing, they didn't take any birds with a triggered ability. So they were just like from the beginning. So they basically just started cheating because they were angry.
Content creator said that he has like analysis paralysis that slows the game down for him.
Oh, with Wingspan?
Yeah.
We have played with that.
Yes.
We have played with that. And it is a problem because we were at 5 players and it was a full player count with multiple people with AP. And the game took over 3 hours, I think.
Whoa.
We streamed this live with We Game Together, and that also took over 3 hours.
Wow. That one did take a while.
People. I will never play that game with more than 3 people ever again. I just won't. I feel like there's not enough in that game for me to play for 3 hours.
Yeah, it is that. I agree with that. It's a game that really shines when it takes 2 hours to play. Like
honestly, I wish that game would take like an hour.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
There's also one thing I don't like too. Yeah. There's a million birds, but you don't see you don't get through a million birds in your game. You maybe like, I think we only got through 50 of the 250 or something like that.
I like that. I think it adds to like the variability.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this cool new bird that I haven't seen, and I keep playing again and again.
I like the feeling of when I play a Denver second or third time, I'm not seeing the same birds.
Yeah.
Because that is something that, like, for example, baseball highlights, I really want expansions for baseball highlights because every time we play now, it feels like, oh, I've played with this guy already. And it's a lot of fun when you get to feel like, oh, I've never played with this guy or this guy. Like, it really feels like, wow, I haven't played with any of these people before. Like, I enjoy that feeling.
Okay, I like that opinion. Nice, I like that opinion. It's wrong opinion, but not.
Yeah,
no,
it's not wrong, dude. Like, you're wrong. Okay.
I'm just kidding. No, it's completely right opinion. Yeah, I just feel like I wish I knew more of the bird. I'm kind of like one of those collector people. I like to know what every card does before I go in for some reason.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love I think that's what I love about Keyforge, where it's like I don't know what's gonna happen with my deck. You know,
yeah,
like
that's true.
I'll play that deck totally blindly. Like I won't even look through the cards. Sometimes I'm like, let's just see what happens.
Yeah.
I think Keyforge needs more love because it is kind of like what Magic should have been, right? Like with random, you get a deck, you just play with it. Like, why do I need to be collecting a million cards?
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
What
Keyforge
Magic is so far off from like it's not even it's become its own hobby to such a far extent where people it's a lifestyle. It really like if you want. Have you guys ever been in like the tournament scene in Magic?
Unfortunately, yes. But I was very young. I was very young. I might have been like 2001. I was attending tournaments at a local card shop.
How old were you about?
15.
Okay, so me and you have like the same life story there. It's the exact same. 14, 15, going to my local shop, dropping money on cards, having no clue what I'm doing.
Yep.
Oh my, it was horrible. It was terrible.
You know what's crazy though? So thank you for this. My wife will probably not thank you for this, but you mentioned Magic on your stream once. I think it was 2 weeks ago from our recording date today. And so like I started looking up cards, and I was just getting like angry because I actually had all these, like I had a lot of cards. I didn't have like a Black Lotus, but I came in and I had Time Twister, which was I got for $10. I got for $10. I looked it up. $13,000. I'm like, this card, this POS card that I had sitting in a plastic.
Could have funded your bathroom reno.
No, it's like 2 bathroom renos.
Yeah,
it's like 2 bathroom renos.
My addition on my house.
Yeah, it's insane. I had I had a Time Walk, like the original Time Walk, but it was the whiteboardered again, like $7,000.
Yeah.
I'm like, I bought this. It was banned at the time. So I got it for like $5 because people were like, I can't use this, so I'm just gonna toss it out. And I'm like, I'll take that. Card's sweet. And then I just didn't keep it because I'm like, I don't know. I was just like, I don't need to keep any of this stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
No, you keep everything. I'm a hoarder. Yeah. I kept everything.
When it comes to Magic, it paid off, man. It really paid off for some people. But so many people have those stories where it's like, you're kidding me. That's how much that card's worth.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
And no one really knew this at the time, that lands would become the value that they are. But he had all the dual lands, all of them. He had a whole collection in a binder, which I think we calculated it was like $2,000 when he had it, but that thing is like
probably ridiculous.
It's probably like $100,000. Yeah. I'm gonna go with $100,000, but I don't actually know.
Is that Kevin?
No, that's
what's great about that too. With lands, they're very they're one of the easiest things to sell. Yeah. Because people are going to need that land in multiple decks. It's not like, this one deck uses that specific card. It's like, no. Plenty of decks are using those lands. So those are easier to sell too.
Yeah. He had 4 Gaias, because we also played during Urza's Saga, Urza's Legacy, and he had 4 Gaia's Cradle. At the time it was $40 each, and we're like, wow, that's expensive. Now they're like $2,000 each or something. I'm like, this is just bananas. Like,
all right.
So thank you.
Yes. Gotcha.
I went down like a whole rabbit hole of like looking at my old cards. And I was just like, oh man, should I buy some? And I'm like, no. I should not.
I can't do it either.
What happens when you watch Room 51? You become like really depressed.
Yeah, exactly.
So come watch your show.
Yeah.
Oh, stop it. Your show's awesome.
So is yours. Kind of. Not just kidding. It's great.
All right. Thank you, Justin and Melissa, for joining us today and for taking part in this. We really appreciate it. Matt literally did all the work. I am a participant along with everyone else. So thank you, Matthew. So where can everyone find you again?
We are on Twitch at Room 51 Live, where we stream all things board gaming. We're on YouTube at Room 51, where we talk all things board gaming. And then on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, we are This Is Room 51.
Yeah, and thank you again so much for having us. I know how much effort it is to put something like this together. So kudos to you for undertaking such a task.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us.
Thank you for agreeing to do this with me. I had a blast, and I love having you two on the show. So you're always welcome on.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We got to get you on our show again. We do.
Yeah, for sure, anytime.
Sure. Whatever you want, we'll do it.
Awesome.
All right. If you like what you hear, don't forget to follow along with us on your favorite streaming platform. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. You can check us out on Instagram at FridayNightGames_official, Twitter at FridayNightGMS, and on our website, FridayNight.Games. Again, I'm John.
And I'm Matt.
And it's Friday night, so let's have some fun.